the whole debt-based money system, it's a pyramid scheme. It's designed to implode on itself, and it's designed to, when it does implode, it will transfer the burden for all that debt onto the people. And it will transfer all wealth into the hands of those who control the monetary system. It was designed to do this. This is exactly how it was meant to happen. And this is what they're doing. And this whole global warming scam is being used to squeeze the last bit of the lifeblood out of the western side of civilization. See, they've gone out and raped most of the world. They've gone out and raped all of these countries, and all of these countries that were doing fine, they turned them into what we now see as third world nations. And they're mainly this way because they've been raped by our governments and by corporations that our governments have supported. That's what created the third world, folks. And so now what they want to do is get rid of the middle class in America, get rid of the middle class in England, Australia, Canada, all of these nations, eliminate the middle class, get everybody either working for the government or working on the lowest levels of the food chain, working basically as labourers and working for a boss, which will be a government boss or a corporate boss, and simply raping the planet and supporting the system, eliminating what population isn't there to support the machine. They don't need anybody that doesn't support the machine. They only need enough people to support the mechanism of the global corporation that will be planet Earth, that planet Earth is turning into. This is what the New World Order is. It's a corporate conglomerate. It's a corporate thing run by a bunch of elites who will puppet the whole planet, control everything, and basically have the whole world to themselves. And they do this through control of the monetary system. Now, a lot of people have tried to tell you about the monetary system. A lot of people have said a lot of things about the monetary system. There's been some fabulous films released on it, things like Money Masters. Aaron Russo's Freedom to Fascism was also another very, very good film on this topic. Now, speaking of freedom to fascism, in that film there was a African-American woman by the name of Sherry Jackson. Now, Sherry Jackson was the girl who was demanding that the IRS show her the law. She was an ex-IRS operative, and she thought she'd take up the challenge to find the law that says we have to pay income tax. And she ended up in the film saying, show me the law where it says that we have to pay income tax. Well, Sherry stopped paying her income tax because nobody in America is actually required to pay income tax. There's no law requiring anyone to pay income tax. So on behalf of the people of America, Sherry stood up and refused to pay her income tax. The American government, the criminal cabal who is supporting the fake global warming scenario and imposing new taxes upon the people, that government, they imprisoned Sherry Jackson, and they are currently denying her medical treatment. They are, in effect, slowly murdering Sherry Jackson. They've put her in jail, and they are denying her medication, and they're basically just leaving her there. They are slowly murdering a woman who dared to stand up against the corrupt, corporate, and wholly fake monetary system. It's very important that people stand up for this woman. I totally support her cause. She's made a stand for all of us. And I suggest that everybody listening to this show email, write, or call Senator Hank Johnson, who represents the 4th Congressional District of Georgia, and tell him that failure to take steps to help Sherry Jackson will make him complicit in her murder, because she is being slowly murdered by the American government in an American jail. Now, I've posted a letter from Sherry Jackson to Congressman Johnson on my website. I've posted some information there where you can fax and call certain organizations. I've posted the Congressman's Facebook page. I'd like to see this information posted everywhere, all over the internet. We really do need to get onto stuff like this. This woman has made a very brave stand. She's made it for all of us, and she is slowly dying in jail, being denied medication by the criminal cabal that is in charge of all of our governments. We need to stand up and support this woman. We need to get her freed. At the very least, at the very moment, we urgently need to see that she receives the medical attention that she needs, and that she is currently being denied by the United States government. I very much urge people to understand that this woman is making a stand on behalf of all of us, and we need to support her in that stand, and we need to take every step in our power to help see that she is afforded the medical attention she deserves, and to also see that she's released from jail. It is not Sherry Jackson that should be in jail. It is the criminal cabal that is running our governments that should actually be in jail. Now, the last few shows I've spoken out very extensively about the government, and I've had people say, well, what are you asking for? Are you asking for anarchy? You're telling us that we need to arrest the members of our government. You're trying to create anarchy. Well, no, I'm not, folks. I don't believe in anarchy at all. I believe we need government. Absolutely, we need some form of government, because without government we will have anarchy. And anarchy is no good for anybody. But what we need is honest government. We do not need a criminal cabal running our governments. And this is exactly what we have. What we need is an honest monetary system and a government that acts in the best interest of the people. We can still have industry. We can still have all of our technology. We can still have a great many things, but we don't need to have a whole system based on corporate corruption. We don't need to have a corrupt monetary system. We don't need to have a bunch of criminals who wish to bring about a global controlling hand under the pretext and under the illusion of creating a global human family. These people who control our governments, they always promote ideas that are very attractive. Unifying the human family and us all understanding our connection to each other is a very attractive idea. They present this to the people under the guise of things like the United Nations, the World Health Organization. The United Nations is virtually a continuation of the Third Reich. The World Health Organization ensures that the planet is kept sick and kept dependent on large pharmaceutical interests. I mean, all of these things do the opposite of what they say and what they appear to do. All of them promote division amongst the people. All of them promote wars, death and destruction. They promote the exploitation of all the resources that we have. See, they have gone out and created all of this situation, all of the pollution. This has all been done by corporate interests. It isn't done by you. It isn't done by me. It's done by corporate interests, and it's done on purpose, so that then they can hold meetings like the Copenhagen Climate Conference and present themselves as the saviours of the world, when really it is they who have caused all the damage. This is Hegelian dialectic, only on a much larger scale, problem, reaction, solution. They create the problems. They fill you full of all this stuff, telling you it's your fault, that it's humankind destroying the earth. They wait for the reaction, and then they present their solution, which is to introduce an incredible amount of new taxes upon the people, to lock society down into a global police state. This is their solution to climate change. Now, this is a scenario that was put forth in 1961 in the Iron Mountain Report. They said they would use a global catastrophe to bring about a world government. Then along comes climate change. Climate change is a naturally occurring cycle. On average, the Earth is actually cooler than what it was 15,000 years ago. Sure, we're going through a little heating process at the moment. As I said, every planet in the solar system is in fact heating up. But they're not heating up to an uncontrollable, unlivable degree. They are simply going through a particularly intense period of solar radiation because of solar maximum 24. This is a solar maximum, the biggest solar maximum we've seen. The sun is releasing more solar radiation. This is heating things up. Of course it's the sun. They say the sun has nothing to do with it. Folks, to suggest that the sun has nothing to do with the heating process of this planet is absurd, to say the least. But this is simply a solar maximum, folks. In a few years it's going to cool down again to what it was a few years ago. But on average, the Earth is 1.6 degrees cooler now than what it was 15,000 years ago. So there is absolutely no truth to the concept at all. And I'm not saying we continue the industries of pollution. I'm not saying we continue using fossil fuels. I'm not saying that we continue trashing the environment. Far from it. We need to curtail our activities in all of those things. There is so much other energy available anyway. We don't actually need to use fossil fuels. The only thing that's kept us using fossil fuels is oil companies. There's been so many types of alternate energy that have been discovered and people have tried to release to the public, and all of these patents have been snapped up by energy companies and oil companies, and they have not allowed any of the technology to be released. They choose to keep us dependent on oil for a number of reasons. One of those reasons is because it is quite pollutive, and they can use it to present us with the concept that we are responsible for global warming. It's also very profitable. It's also used as a means of controlling the Arab world, because the World Bank actually dictates global oil prices to the Arabs. I mean, it's a big conglomerate mess, folks. It's a very, very deep conspiracy, and there are all sorts of reasons for it.